Protecting your chickens and other homestead birds from aerial predation, attacks from the air, is especially hard, but I may have found the key. So let me tell you about what I've done, how it's worked, and something you can do too to protect your little girls. So I've been able very successfully to protect them from ground predators, especially at night, especially possums, coons, skunks, things like that. And but I still had some aerial predation. Some hawks got in here. I put a net over the top. Hawks still got in, so that didn't work. So I was searching for something new, and I may have found it because it's working and has worked for the last 2 or 3 months. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So on and around their coop here, I have implemented 2 items. First is this little owl. He turns his head when the wind blows. That little flap on the back of it right there catches the wind. That little sail catches the wind. And his head will blow around and move some, which makes it look rather lifelike. I've got this on the very front of my pen. Let me back up here. That is where I've put the owl, and it has done, I'm going to say it's done a great job, because I'm going to tell you in a minute that I've got predators and they're right here, and they have not touched one of these chickens. Let me show you one more thing I've done. You may or may not know that hawks and even eagles are afraid of crows. Doesn't make any sense to me. All they got to do is turn around and eat that crow for breakfast. But they're afraid of crows, and crows will come after them with a vengeance. They're afraid they're going to come get their young out of their nest, whatever. But crows hate a predator bird like hawks, like eagles. So when I bought the owl and put him up, I also bought this fake crow. He's on a stake. I just put the stake in the ground, and he has sat here. I should be moving it around, but I'm not. I mean, I should move it around just so the hawks and the predators would think, you know, it's not sitting there in the same place all the time. But I haven't been. I've just been leaving it in one place. And so far, and he's just as dirty as he can be. Dusty, nasty. He don't even look like a crow much. So I need to come wash him off, make him look black again. But anyway, that right there, and the owl has stopped my predation. And let me tell you about what I've seen out here that would have gotten these chickens for sure. So there's the chicken pen right there. And I have come out here on at least 2 different occasions in the last 2 or 3 months. And there has been a hawk sitting up there in that tree, just looking down on them. When I came out, he would fly off. But no telling how long he'd been sitting there, and he had absolutely no interest in those chickens. I think it's 3 reasons. Someone told me in one of my comments, which by the way, I learned so much from you folks doing, that they had never lost a black chicken, or even a barred rock chicken like I've got, the black and white chickens like I have. That they'd never lost one to a hawk or any type of aerial predation because they're dark. I don't know whether they think they're crows or for whatever reason. They said they'd never lost any chickens to aerial predation. So that's one reason I got barred rock. I like barred rock. I've had them in the past, but that's one reason I got them, was to help with predation because of that one comment that guy gave me. Well, again, came out here, hawk sitting up there, big hawk sitting up there, could have come down and killed one of them chickens in a heartbeat. I don't have a rooster right now, not that they would do all that great a job in protecting, because last year I had a huge black rooster, black Orpington, I believe he was, and that did not stop. In fact, they killed him. Hawks came and killed him. I don't know whether 1 or 2 or what, but he was dead, and they were killing my chickens, but they were only killing the red chickens. Only killing the red chickens. So I think there may be something to that black chicken or dark chicken, because I had black Orpingtons and I have some red chickens also, and they were killing the red chickens, but they were not killing the black chickens. But they did kill that black rooster, because I'm sure he probably came to their aid and it just couldn't handle it. There's probably 2 of them. Or It was something bigger than that. Let me tell you about the something bigger than that I know I've got here too. My neighbor next door said he knows we have a nesting pair of eagles way back in the back on the land behind me. My land, right where that big tree growth there is where my land stops. There's 15 acres behind me, and he said there's a nesting pair, or at least was a nesting pair of eagles back there, bald eagles. And so I was a little skeptical, although I had seen some eagles up in one of these trees up in here, way up in here, looking down on my chicken coop. Now this has been a year or two ago, probably 2 or 3 ago. So let me show you a little video I did of an eagle trying to get some ducks that had landed on my pond. And you can see him right here swooping down, but you can also, I mean, he's trying his best. The ducks are just kind of sitting there. They're not really, don't seem too agitated about it. However, if you look closely, and it's a hard video to see, I understand the focus is not great. I was from about 100 yards away on an iPhone. But you will also see some crows chasing him off, chasing that huge eagle off. So again, they hate the crows. So I've got the crow sitting in the back on the ground. I've got the owl sitting on top right there, on top of the pen, and I've got predation everywhere. I've never had a problem with owls, but I've always had problems with hawks. And it could be those eagles came down to kill that big rooster because he was big, he was a monster. But an eagle could sure get him. Now they didn't carry him off, they just killed him and killed one of my girls. I'll put a link to the fake owl I have, and I'll put a link below to the fake crow I have stuck in the ground over there on that spike. And if you're having some aerial problems, you know, this could be your solution. It seems to be mine. Am I guaranteeing it? If you got a bunch of red-headed chickens that they love, I don't know. But I'm just saying, they've been up in there and looking at mine on at least two occasions that I caught them. So if I've caught them twice, I guarantee you there's been half a dozen or a dozen times they've been sitting up there looking at my chickens, and they hadn't always been this big. Now they're full grown now, but they hadn't always been this big. They were growing up, you know, so he could have definitely come and got one of them. And they didn't, and I think it's because of the owl, and I think it's because of the crow over there. So I'll put a link to them below, and you just check them out. If it's something you think you can use, give it a shot. They're not that expensive. I don't remember how much they were, but they're not that expensive. All right, I hope that helps. I'll do another video soon on ground predators for chickens especially. And I think I have solved that problem too with just 2 little gadgets. All right, we're gone.